Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's May the 27th, 2021. My name is Ron Zaire, and this is the HWH World weekly call, and we're just so happy to have you with us tonight. HWH World is a community of people who are seeking ways to live healthier, wealthier, and happier lives. HWH World carries a line of science-backed nutrition products that are helping people to really live healthier lives. And that's what we're going to be focusing on tonight. So I'm so glad you're with us. Tonight's going to be a little bit different than some of our calls. Our regular calls are like this because we're going to do it a bit more as a workshop format. So we're going to be having interaction with people, and we're looking forward to that. Before we dive into that, though, I'd like to just take a step back and let's talk about health in general, and let's talk about health philosophy. We live in interesting, unprecedented times, don't we? As health has become a topic in our world like it really hasn't for a long time. People are concerned about their health. People are talking about their health. And so I wanted to start tonight just by talking briefly about two very significant contrasting views of health and how it works. The first one, which is, you'll note as I begin talking about it, it is the most common, the prevailing perspective right now in our world, was initially called the germ theory, and it was popularized by Louis Pasteur, who was one of the forefathers of our modern day medicine. And the germ theory really, it's become what we could call now the disease theory. But the germ theory, the disease theory, says that there are enemies to our health. And those enemies are attacking us as germs. And when we say germs, it's kind of a catch-all phrase for bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites. There are germs that are attacking us. There are diseases that are attacking us, and we have to do whatever we can do to identify them and to fight them and defeat them. And so for the last 150 years or so, that's been the predominant health theory. And what it's led to is it has led to a push by science to identify diseases and germs and to create medicines and cures to fight against those and defeat those, with the idea that if we can defeat the diseases, then we will be healthy. Now, let's take a step back from that, shall we? How many diseases are there? Well, we don't know, but it is estimated that in the world today, there are at least 10,000 different diseases. Is that a lot? Yeah. And so the direction that science has gone, the direction that modern medicine has gone, is to identify diseases one by one and then try to create a pharmaceutical drug or a medical procedure to deal with those. Now, are you glad that sometimes there's a pharmaceutical drug or a medical procedure to deal with a certain disease? Yeah, sometimes we need those things. But you can understand that as these things, diseases continue to be discovered, the mad scramble is on to try to find cures for them. And I mentioned this analogy of a war, and it really is an analogy of a war because there's all kinds of terminology under this germ or disease theory that talks about battles. You've heard about the battle against a certain disease, a battle against this sickness, a battle against this germ. Because the idea is it is a battle and you have to do whatever you can. Medicine has to do whatever it can to destroy that enemy. Now, we know that when there is a battle, what happens to the town that that battle is in? Oftentimes, it either gets destroyed or it gets, at the very least, severely damaged. And so we have seen what has evolved, what has happened over these last 100 years or so of this kind of theory playing out is we have these drugs, we have these solutions that do battle with disease. And what do they have? They have something called side effects. And for some people, the side effects, unfortunately, are almost as bad as the actual disease. And so then you need more drugs, you need more procedures to deal with the side effects, you need more things to deal with the collateral damage of this war. And so it goes and goes and goes and goes. Well, at the same time that that germ or disease theory was being proposed, there was another theory that was actually quite popular there. But in the battle of these two theories, the germ theory won out. That theory now goes by different terms, but perhaps the most common one is what's called the terrain theory. Sometimes we refer to it as the garden theory. That theory said, do you know what? There are germs all around us. There are diseases all around us. There will always be germs all around us and diseases all around us. Whether or not those germs, those diseases proliferate, multiply, and take over is not dependent upon us defeating them, but it is dependent upon the condition, the terrain of our bodies. If our bodies have a certain terrain, the germs may attack us, but they cannot defeat us. If our bodies have a certain terrain, the disease may be coming at us, but it will not be able to overcome us. Because it is the terrain that determines whether we will become sick or not the presence of germs or other disease agents. Kind of like a garden. What grows in your garden is not just what you plant, because there are always seeds floating around your garden. But what grows in your garden is what the conditions of your garden are right for. You understand? If you want to grow root vegetables in your garden, you need certain conditions. If you want to grow leafy vegetables in your garden, you need certain conditions. Different plants require different conditions. And it's the conditions of the soil that determine what grows. And so the terrain theory says it's the conditions within our body that determine what will grow. Now, I don't know about you all, but to me, that second theory sounds a lot more hopeful. Change the conditions of your body, and you can change what grows in your body, whether it's good health or it's one of the, what's the number again? I can't remember the number of viruses and bacteria and fungi and parasites that are attacking us on a daily basis, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So when we talk about health, we're really talking about creating a healthy terrain, a healthy garden within the body so that good health can flourish and the weeds get choked out. Isn't that hopeful? Isn't that powerful? Isn't that empowering? So why is it that we have different products and when people take different products, sometimes they experience different benefits? Because our products are not necessarily targeted only on one or two things. They're targeted on helping the body to get healthy. As we've often said, why don't we get the body healthy and let the body take care of, let a healthy body take care of whatever problem it's dealing with? Because our body is marvelously created to deal with all kinds of health problems if we give it the support. that it needs. Okay, that was an introduction. And I hope keeping that perspective in place is powerful, as it is as powerful for you as it is for me. And as I talk to people, sometimes who are really, really terrified, feeling helpless, feeling hopeless, feeling like they are a victim and they really can't do much at all to take care of their health. I consider ourselves as bringers of hope, and not some kind of hypey hope, but real hope. That if we can support our bodies to be healthier, our bodies can do amazing, amazing things. All right. So let's shift a little bit. When you are talking or listening to people, and one of the greatest skills that we can develop is the skill of listening to hear people. What are people talking about? What are people concerned about? When you're talking to people or listening to people these days, when it comes to health, what are some of the things that you're hearing them that they're concerned about? And for the purposes of this, we'll stay away from super specific things. Okay, so let's talk about things that a lot of people are, or most people have on their minds when it comes to health, when it comes to their body's health. Okay, let's unmute yourself, pop it into the chat, whichever you prefer. I'm going to be writing these down. Would it help if I'd share screen, or what shall we do here? You know what? I'm not going to share screen just because I want to keep everybody's faces up here. So let's get this. We got a couple things in the chat. We've got, okay, awesome. We got immune system. We've got detoxing. We've got losing weight. It's a common one. Anything else that anybody has heard? Energy's a big one. Energy. Yes.
Ron, economy.
I'm sorry?
Economy.
Okay.
I can go buy this product at Walmart or wherever for half the price that you got, but they don't understand potency.
Okay. So economy versus quality, right? All right. What else? Anything else in the chat, or just voice it out?
Mind clarity.
Mind clarity. Coronavirus. Wonder what that is, huh? Okay. Anything else? Digestive issues. Gotcha.
Sleep disorders.
Sleep. Okay. And along with that, so we've got aging, we've got vaccinations. Along with those, we also have anxiety, stress. Okay, let's stop it at that. That's a great list. Let me just read off what I've got. I've got immune system, detoxing, losing weight, energy, economy, quality, mind, clarity, coronavirus, digestive issues, sleep, aging, vaccination, stress, and anxiety. Great list. Now, if I were to ask you, do we have a cure for any of these issues? That is a trick question. The answer would be no, we do not. Okay, because we're not here to cure, we're not here to prescribe, we're not authorized to do that, we're not qualified to do that. But do we have something that could help the body become healthier so that it could potentially deal with some of these list of issues? Yeah, we do. Does the body have an immune system? Yes. Is the body naturally trying to detoxify itself? Yes, it is. Does the body, is it naturally trying to maintain a healthy weight? Anyone? It is. Does the body, is it designed to have energy? Yes. Is it designed to resist and deal with the coronavirus? Yes. Is it designed to deal with digestive issues and have a healthy digestive system? Absolutely. Is it designed to do what a vaccination is designed to do, which is to deal with antigens and germs that are attacking it? Absolutely. Is it designed to deal with the ravaging effects of aging? Definitely it is. So, do we have any products that would work with most, which would support the body in specific ways to deal with most of these things? Yeah, we do. And I am going to share my screen. Well, no, I'm not. That's fine. Let's not do it. Okay, because this product trio that some of us have been talking about and thinking, what would make a difference in addressing the concerns of most people? Because you know what it's like. I don't know how many HWH RBC Life products you take every day. We take a lot. We take most of them. And when you go to someone who is kind of new to all of this and say, oh yeah, you should take 11 different products or 10 different products, it's kind of a lot. And so what if we've been talking and saying, so what if there were like 3 that would really make a significant difference for people? And you could pick a number of combinations of 3. But just when we looked at, and the list that we came up with was pretty close to this list. So we came up with 3 products: Microhydrin, Immune Shield, and Diasyn, as a trio of products, a combination of products that really does address most of these issues. So let's talk for a few minutes about them. What would you say when it comes to those products? Okay, because again, we want this to be a workshop and you all know a lot. So what would you say when it comes to these 3 products as a 3-pack, as a trio of products? Would you agree that these would make a pretty significant difference in supporting the body to function in a normal way? Absolutely. Okay, what do we want to start with? Start with the easy one, Microhydrin. Tell me, what are some of the benefits, or what are some of the things that Microhydrin does in the body?
Balances your pH.
Okay, pH, alkalinity. Anyone else?
Yeah, I don't remember all the scientific things behind Microhydrin, but I know before I started taking it about 22 years ago, I did study up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do know is that my immune system is drastically different and better than what it was, before I started taking it, and my energy and just that overall sense of well-being. So I know you'll address all the the science, but if I run out of that product, it's like I'm out of air almost, I mean.
Awesome. Okay, so you said energy, you said immunity, and you said a sense of well-being.
Yeah, I remember the first 3 days, after I started taking it a long time ago, I just thought my lungs felt expanded. And so I kind of described that as a sense of well-being, my whole being.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Okay, that's great, Brenda. Thank you. And you know what? And let me just say this. We could explain from what we understand of how microhydrin works in the body, why you might be experiencing that, that would be meaningful to some people. But for most people, Brenna, what you just said would be way more impactful than the sciencey stuff. Right? Some people want to know the sciencey stuff because they're sciencey people, but a lot of people, to hear what you just said, that's like, whoa, how can I get some of that stuff? So
they want to hear the results. I was just going to say what Brianna said. There was a lady, it wasn't me, but it was a lady that said when she took microhydrin, she felt like she was breathing from an oxygen tank.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
just, that's how alert and just good she felt. And so like just breathing fresh oxygen, but it increases the oxygen carrying capacity in the blood. So that was a benefit, but easier to say what you said than say that, you know?
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Linda. So those are some great things with microhydrin. Let's move on to the next one.
Pam Sorensen also had a note. She said, renews other antioxidants, does not become oxidized when it is spent.
Yes. Okay. And that is, so renews antioxidants. And that's the part that's really related to immunity, our fighting of free radicals, our body's ability to fight against free radicals. And not only that, but it can then recharge other antioxidants. And that's just like powerful. In some of the university studies, it actually recharged things like vitamin C. It's pretty phenomenal, right? Okay, renews antioxidants, and it doesn't become oxidized when it's spent. Okay, and sometime we could do a whole session on free radicals and antioxidants, and that's like powerful stuff. Those of you who have heard me talk about that live when we do the chair demonstrations and all that stuff, it's a lot of fun. Immune shield. What do we know about immune shield? What system of the body does it support? Immunity. Yes. Hello. Really good. Okay. Yeah. It supports the immune system. And what does it support the immune system? When people talk about the immune system, when you hear what are the most commonly understood vitamins and minerals that support the immune system? Vitamin A. And vitamin A needs to be in the form of beta carotene so our body can use it as it needs it. Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin E. Plus minerals, zinc and selenium. In addition to that, it's got this little superfood blend of spirulina and cracked cell wall or cracked wall chlorella, which again, some of the most well-known immune support agents that we know. So someone can go out and they can get beta carotene, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, zinc, selenium, 6, cracked wall chlorella, and spirulina. That would be 7 different things. 6, 7, 8 different things. Or you can take immune shield, powerful immune support. Okay, well done. And then diacin. What do you know about diacin? Anyone?
Mind clarity.
Mind clarity.
Balances hormones.
Energy.
Energy, balances hormones.
Good to take when you want to clean your house.
Okay. That's the promotion. Do you get tired when you clean your house? I used to get tired when I cleaned my house, but now I take diacin, and my wife loves me more because I clean faster. No.
Mood swings.
Mood swings. Okay. Absolutely. And that's the hormone part, helps to support the hormone system. And oftentimes the hormone system we experience anxiety, mood swings, that kind of thing, because our hormones are not, our endocrine system is not supplied adequately. What else? There was someone else. Brenda, you got another one?
Yeah. My kids used to love me on Diasyn. I remember taking it one day. I took all 5 of them Christmas shopping, and we started like 7 in the morning and went till 10 at night. And they loved Mom that day because I took a Diasyn that day. But back then, if I took one, I just knew I would not sleep that night because I'm really sensitive.
Yeah.
And so I mean, like twice a year max. I mean, it had to be important, like Christmas shopping with 5 kids.
Yes.
But now I'm older. And I don't have that trouble with not being able to sleep at night when I take one in the morning.
Okay.
You still love her when she's on it, though.
You still do.
They know when I'm not.
Yeah. Well, when our daughters entered the early teen age, we used to love them when they were on it too, because it helped them a lot. We still love them, and I'm sure your kids still love you too, Brenna. But so there we got the other thing that did we mention was metabolism, which aids in weight loss. So it hits another couple things that we were talking about, right? Energy. And so those are powerful things. So what do we have? We have a trio of products that can support people who are looking for a stronger immune system, who are looking for more energy, who are looking for a greater sense of well-being, who are looking for a way to support their body in the midst of stress and anxiety. Anybody know anyone who's looking for that? Yeah, 1 or 2 people, right? So can you see yourself benefiting from 3 products that would do something like that? Can you see anyone else that you know benefiting from that? Now, the only proviso that we're going to put in here is what Brenna mentioned, is that Diasyn does have some naturally occurring caffeine in it. Okay. And it's a natural caffeine. It doesn't have just a raw stimulant. But for some people who don't take any caffeine in their daily life, it can give them a bit of a buzz. So usually I would ask a person, do you take anything with caffeine? All right. And some people who are on heart medication, some stuff like that, they might want to be careful with that. Okay. But for most people, that's going to be something that's really going to help them. So you all just shared. Is anyone convinced that these are a great combination? Does anyone show me by your hand? You can just physically raise your hand because I can show you. Anyone here learn something that says, hey, wow, that's a great product today? And who shared that with you? You all did. So what I want you to get out of tonight is that you don't necessarily need an expert who can deliver all the science. It's good that we've got experts to back us up, right? We've got people like Sandy Britton. We've got somebody like Earl Kemper. We've got somebody like Barb Ashcroft. We got experts. Excuse me. We got Dr. Carolyn. We've got experts who will bring the science. But just with what all of us know, there's some impactful stuff. And then you combine that with a testimony of your own experience with some of these products, or the experience of someone that you know, and it becomes even more impactful. So that's what we wanted to work on tonight. And you guys did a phenomenal job. Just give yourselves a hand. And give yourselves a hand. Let's do the clapping thing. There we go. Okay. You guys did a great job. And I hope you realize that it is that simple. It's powerful. Okay. Just share that. So when you're talking to somebody, here's what you can ask them to do. Here's the question to ask them. Would you be willing to give it a try? Don't go to them and say, would you agree to take these products for the rest of your life? It's not like getting married. You're not asking them to marry them. You're just asking them to date, right? Would you be willing to give these products a try? How long would I have to do it? 30 days, 60 days. Okay. So, a powerful trio combination of products. Thiacin, Immune, and Microhydrin. Next week, we would like to do some testimonies. And we'll have some other stuff as well, but we'd like as many of you to share testimonies as possible. We're going to be talking to some other people, also coming on some who couldn't make it tonight. Will be with us back next week to share testimonies. And what we're going to do, and I'm going to give you a heads up. Okay, how would you like to be able to share your testimony in a way that is really, really impactful, that maximizes the impact? There's really two things. There's three parts if you want to share that really maximizes impact. What are the three parts? The three parts are I was, along with how I felt. I did, number two. And number three is now and I feel. Okay, I was and how I felt. I did, number two, and number three, now, and this is how I feel. Right? If you get those three things and you can get those down, and when you talk about a product, you share your testimony, you can always add in more details. But how many of you have ever heard someone share a testimony and eventually you get lost in the details? Right? Because they tell you what they had for breakfast the morning of the day before they tried the products for the first time. And they tell you about what color the car was that was passing them when they bought the bottle. And there's so many details and you get lost with that, right? Sometimes those details are important, but what we try to do when we do talking about testimonies is we try to eliminate what we call the so whats. And we keep in there the me toos. We keep in there some of the feeling, right? And Brenna just talking about her stuff, she included some of that. Did you capture some of the feeling of how she was feeling after she started to try Microhydrin, how she was feeling? And then when she said that her kids loved her, how many of you with kids had the thought when she said, and my kids loved me? How many of you thought, I want my kids to love me too? Anyone think that? Yeah, because we all do, right? And so that's an emotional connection. And that, when it comes to sharing testimonies, is often the most powerful thing that we can pass on to someone. Okay, so next week, we'll do that, and we'll open it up. We'll have people share testimonies. We'll talk back and forth, and we'll talk about how can you tighten that up and how can you really make that impactful. All right, everybody, sound good? Thank you all for being with us. Now, I wanted to let you know we've got the ongoing, excuse me, it is month end coming up. So the Elior skincare line has been on special for the month of May, and that special only has until Monday. for it. So if you want to take advantage of that special, by all means, act before May. If you want to pass that on and share it with someone, do that before the month of May. There's a sense of urgency there. They'll need to act fast on it. So, excuse me, that's really important. And what else is coming up? There's no Monday night call this week because it's Memorial Day for you folks in the States. And the other thing is these Thursday night calls, because Janine and the home office have been doing regular Monday calls, these Thursday night calls for the summer months, we're actually going to go to twice a month instead of every week. Okay, so we're going to be on next week, which is the first Thursday of the month, and thereafter we'll be on the first and the third. Okay, so the first and the third Thursday of the month is when we'll be doing these calls on Thursday nights. And I think most of you are on the email list or you're connected into a Facebook group. And so we'll keep the announcements going for there on those places. But you can just make a note for June, July, August, 1st and the 3rd. And if we need to, or we want to add in some extra ones, we'll do in some extra bonus ones along the way. Because keeping in touch is really important and we want to keep doing that. Yes.
There's a question from Sandy Lewis before we go.
Yeah.
She, in relation to those 3 products that we're talking about, I believe that's what it is. She says, what do you tell them if they are taking Oliviva, Trualo, and Vitalo? Can they drop those?
Okay. Oh, great question. Great question, Sandy. I would say that these are products that I would love as an introduction to new people who aren't taking other stuff. Okay. Why are they taking Oliviva, Trualo, and Vitalo? That is a super powerful immune support combination, which if that's why they're taking that, then that's a great combination. I wouldn't encourage them to stop doing that. Okay, but I would want to know why they're taking that and what's significant about that. And maybe it's just because Sandy told them to. Great, keep doing it. Okay, because that's a great combination. That's like, and here's what, I always think of when I'm making suggestions to people, and often I'll give them choices of basic, elite, and super elite. Okay, or good, better, best kind of thing. So what's a real basic, solid foundation? This is a real basic, solid foundation, what we talked about tonight. Especially someone who, maybe they don't take products or maybe they don't take so much and they know they want to do something to really support their body because these are stressful times. These are times when a lot of stuff's going around us. So they want something to take it. This is an easy introduction. Okay, maybe that person is on Oliviva, Trualo, and Vitalo. Super strong. I mean, that's a great elite to super elite kind of immune support. Really powerful. But if and maybe they're looking and maybe they hear something from one of these other things that piques their interest, they could add that into that. And as we move along, I mean, we'd love to, and we often think and we often teach, and we vary up the products that we take as the seasons roll by, right? And it's okay to do that as well. I think we got another. Brenda says the Elier Night Moisturizer works really well with an equal part of the Aloe Gelly. Combination is very complementary. Great idea. Awesome. Okay. Did I cover everything I was supposed to? Anyone tell me, did I miss anything? I think I got it all. So, hey guys, was this fun? Okay, you learned something from one another. All right. Excellent.
Good job.
Hey, good to see you all. For those of you in the States, have a wonderful long weekend.
Thank you.
Rest, be safe.
Thank you.
Be rejuvenated, and holidays are designed, well, sometimes you can get more exhausted on them, but I hope it's refreshing and invigorating for all of you. And
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ron.
Great job, Ron.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
Presentation, Ron.
Thank you.